In this section, I want to show you how I use Python to merge multiple point cloud data files into one single data file. In order to do that, I need some data. So I already prepared it and I put it in my GitHub here. If you go to this address, github.com lsxinh pyxyz, you're going to see this page. So here we need this xyzdata.zip, which is the small point cloud data that I use for demonstration of this example. And I need this Python script. So let's go to the code here and choose download zip. So I'm going to put in my D drive GitHub download, and I'm going to put it in this folder. And here I'm going to show that folder here. So, and I'm going to extract this using 7-zips or any zipping software that's available in your computer. So I already did that, so I already have this folder. Inside, I'm going to put this on the right here. So coming back to this, inside this folder, I have in total 47 point cloud data. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this Python script to merge all of these point cloud files into one single file. So in order to do that, I'm going to call command line, and I'm going to call Python, and then the Python script name, which is pymerge all xyz.py, and I'm going to call -h and type in enter. So we can see an instruction here of how to use this Python script. Merge multiple point cloud xyz files into one file. Type in python merge.-i. to merge all the point cloud files in this current working directory. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to call python, then pymerge, and then -i dot, and press enter. So it's already processed, and the new merge file is inside this merge folder here, and the merge file name is merge. And the processing time is just 0.298 seconds. So I'm going to open this file using Notepad++. So here we get a new merge file. And if we go back to this folder, I'm going to open this to compare and check. So we can see that this is the first file, and this is correct -4.3069, which is -4.307. This is 380.941.76. Yeah, this is the same. Let's check the second file here. We got -9.905 exactly. So that means the script is working. So let's close this down and come back to the Python prompt to see more of the instruction. So let's see if we can customize a little bit more. So here we have this input. If we want to change the output name to different name, instead of the default name is merge.xyz, we're gonna change it by putting on, and then maybe the merge.run1csv. That is the output. And then as we know that the input point cloud file extension is xyz, so we're going to put in .iest is star.xyz. We can specify the output extension by specifying the output name of the file here. Next is we can define the output column names as well. So we can see here in this file, the output column name is xyz as the default, but we can change this to be like E, N, and that, or maybe to be this thing, not thing, and that, for example. We can also define, we can also specify 8D, no, or yes, if we want to display the header or not. So in this case, I'm gonna choose not to display the header. So let's see how we get. And then we can define the input delimiter. So in this case, the input delimiter of this file is space. So we're gonna define it as input delimiter as space here, so which is the default is space, but we can also type in sp for space. And the output delimiter, the default for output delimiter is comma, but we want it to be space. And then we run it, so it's working, and then we check it in this folder. We have another file which is a merge file of all the point cloud file. We're going to open this using Notepad++. So we can see that we can check the parameter that we put in, which is heading is no, so that means no heading. Like this one, we have heading, but this one has no heading. And the output delimiter or separation is space here. We got the space. What else? Okay, so next, if we want to change to the heading to yes, and we just run the script again, and we check this update, you can see that it's gonna update the heading because we choose the heading as yes. So that is the first way that we can run this script. I'm gonna close this down. I'm gonna get into this folder. So now we have another way to run the scripts as well, which is using batch scripting. So here I already prepare a file called .bat, and inside this file I'm going to put in Python and then the Python script name, and I put exactly the syntax as the instruction in the Python script. So here we want it to be, let's see, this is the input. So we want it to be exactly the input. The format, which is no header, the first one, and then space, and then the second data field, and then space, and the last data field. Okay, so let's see how we can specify that. Firstly, here the heading is no. Because we specify heading is no, so we don't need to care about this one. The output is space, and the file name, we're going to choose it to be XYZ, and here we got run one, so we're going to put it as run two. So and then we save it. And how to run this? We right click on the batch file and choose open. It's going to run, and it's going to tell us that the merge file is in this location. So I'm going to open the merge file, and I have the new merge file here. I'm going to open it using Notepad++. So we got the merge file, which is exactly the same format with the input files, using space separation and no heading. So that is running the Python script using command line and using batch script. We can also use a Python editor to run this Python script as well, to merge these multiple point cloud data files into one single file. So here I have the Spider editor, which is I go to ArcGIS, I go to Python command prompt, and then I type in Spider. Okay, so when I type in Spider, I get this one. So in order to run that Python script using Spider editor, I'm going to choose this Python script and drag and drop it inside here. So this is the content of this Python script. So here we don't worry about the main function, the process function. We just go to the define function here. So for example, here we got a define function. So, and we put this uncomment. So if I want the output to be like space limiter, I'm going to put in space here, or maybe I want the output file to be semicolon separation. I'm going to choose semicolon here. I want the column name to be XYZ, and the header is yes, and then I'm going to run this. It tells me that OS is not defined. That means I need to load the OS module and some of other modules as well. So I'm going to go to the top of the file here and run this one, and then coming back to the function and then run this again. So after I run this function, I didn't have anything. The reason why is because the current working directory is not in this folder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to need to change the current working directory to that folder as well. So I'm going to copy the link of this folder into here, and I'm going to run it. And now I can check get current working directory, exactly this folder. So I'm going to run this again. Now it's working. So now we can see a new merge.xyz, which is equivalent to the output file name here in this folder. So I'm going to open it using Notepad++. So we can see that we have the separation is semicolon, as we mentioned in the script here. We have the header yes, which is here. We have and it's merge all the file into this file. So if we want to change a little bit, we want to change it to be E, N, and Z, for example. We want to change the output delimiter to be comma, and we run this again. We check this. It's going to ask us to reload the file. Click yes, and it's reload the file, and we got the result. Exactly what we want. So that's it for this short video of how I use Python to merge multiple point cloud data within a folder into a new point cloud file data using Python. So probably in the next videos, I'm going to make another video in detail about how I create this Python script. What is the main function? What is the process function? What is the argument parser? How I can make the Python script can be operated in the command line as a program, and or some other problem that we may encounter. So if you have any questions or discussion or suggestion or problems, please put your thoughts in the comments area of this video below, so I can put it in the consideration in the next video about how I create this Python script in more detail. See you later.